Yeah, just one. Okay. So, in any Andhra family, out of 5 people, there will be one or 3 people will be having a Srinivas in their name. So I thought, why not change it? I made it why Srinivas? Why you should actually come to me, not to others. Okay. So I'm here because I am on a mission to transform lives of people and help them lead a happy, disease free and a healthy life. I'm sorry for the spelling disease. To a personality 2.0 using simple and foolish but very effective NLP Una technique. I'm deliberately using the word foolish because the techniques are so very simple, and you'll not believe that they can transform your lives. And of course, before that, a brief about my background. I am an electrical engineer. Did my engineering in the year 1988 from Bilaspur, and from then on I joined the Indian Air Force as a technical officer in the year 1989 and served the country for 23 years. And during the peak of my period, that is from 25 years to 48 years, I was serving the country. And in the defense forces, you all know that you have to wear uniform, and we are bound by the rules and regulations of the country because of the confidentiality. So I could not explore my life, and I could not explore much about the arts. It's like in a defense force, it's like a frog in a well. We are surrounded by those 4 walls of the well, and we think that is the world. So yeah, I took a decision of coming out of the Indian Air Force, took a voluntary retirement in the year 2012, and since then I have been exploring the outside corporate world. And in fact, I have broken few myths. Like I used to hear that after 35 years of age you will not get a job. The another myth which was there was like, if you don't start a business at a later age, and if you don't have an experience, you will not be able to set up a business. And also, for starting a business, you need to have lots and lots of capital. So these 2 myths also I have broken. I started a business when I was at the age of 51, and that too without any background of having any business background, neither to me nor my family. And of course, the very biggest myth, which is that life is a destiny, we don't have a control on the destiny. That's also biggest myth. We have a control on our life. We can make our life the way we want to. We can dream big, we can achieve all those things, we can be healthy, we can be happy. So everything is into our hands, in our hands. So this is a brief introduction about me. Now let me give a few examples. Just give me 1 minute. I just want to see whether it's getting recorded or not. Yeah, it's recording. Okay. Okay, a few examples. Let me give an example. Like, you have a daily wage worker. Right now, a daily wage worker works throughout his life as a daily wage worker only, and he earns that much of money which his contractor pays him, or whatever is the government fixes the wage for him. And do you not think he is very happy doing that? Yes, that daily wage worker is happy till the time he gets that particular daily wage for that day, and at the end of the day he gets that money. He's very happy, and he's living a happy life. So that is about the daily wage worker. But somewhere he is stuck there as a daily wage worker. Now let's talk about a tailor. A tailor can start a business at an early age. He can become a good tailor, and he can become a best tailor in the city. But can a tailor think of becoming a millionaire? Probably not. A tailor can never think of a millionaire. Born tailor can also be a good tailor or the best tailor. Now, the other side is, if he has a son and he wants his son to make a IAS officer, he puts all the effort and makes his son an IAS officer. Now, on one hand, in his own profession, he remains a tailor, but he dreamt big about his son and makes him a IAS officer. That means he has the capability of dreaming big and achieving big results. But then somehow he has stuck up in his own profession as a tailor. He never dreamt big. He never think of becoming a millionaire. But he has the capability. When he can make his son an IAS officer against all odds, he can also make his profession, he can make himself a millionaire. But somewhere he is stuck up with that limiting belief, right? So this is actually true. If you are stuck there, you will start loving it. Like a tailor, when he becomes a bigger tailor, he becomes a best tailor, he is very, very happy. He's stuck there and starts loving it. Similarly, a daily wage worker, till the time he earns the daily wage and he has that small increments, he is very, very happy there, but he is stuck there. Okay, so let me bring you to a story. Let me tell you a story to make this much more clear. There was a guru who was actually doing lots of puja and all those, and he achieves that nirvana. We call it the diksha. And by achieving this diksha, he is able to know as to what is his next janam will be, next birth will be, and when he is going to die. Right? So he was very happy that he has achieved that nirvana for which he has been working hard for so many years. And then he calls, but he's at the same time very sad also, because he understands that in the next birth he's going to be born like a pig and he's going to stay in that dirt. But he also knows that once he goes, next birth is over, like he dies as a pig, he comes back as a guru. So quite sad, with a mixed feeling of happiness and sadness, he calls his disciples and tells them that yes, this is what I have achieved. In the next birth, I'm going to be born like a pig. So you all come to that particular place. He gives a place as to where he's going to stay, that particular place on a particular day, and then kill me. And once you kill me, I'll come back as a guru. So the disciples agrees, and then the guru dies and he borns like a, his next birth he takes like a pig. And on that particular day when the guru has told, the disciples very promptly go to that particular place and see that their guru is there in the dirt, total of filth, it's stinking, and they go and recognize the pig because he has already told them how he will look like. So they pull the pig out and they were about to kill the pig. The moment they start killing him, about to kill him, the pig starts talking like a man, like a human being, and says, "Please don't kill me." Then the disciple says, "Why?" He says, "I'm very, very happy wherever I am. I don't have any tensions. I don't have anything. I'm happy. Please don't kill me." Then the disciples say, that time you had told us to kill me as a guru and we are following your orders. And now that we have come and we are going to kill you. He says, that time I was your guru and I told you the instruction, so you had to follow. But now I am a pig and now I'm telling you not to kill. So now these disciples get confused as to what to do. So they discuss among themselves, and as a wise one of the wise disciples says, as a guru, he has given us some instructions, so we have to follow those instructions. So they say, okay, they by force kill the pig, and the moment they kill the pig, the guru appears. And now after the guru appears, the disciples do that normal begging to the guru, and then they say, Guru, this is what you have done. You have never not allowed us to kill you. You are telling not to kill you, but by force we have killed you. For this, the Guru says, how can I do that? As a pig, I was staying in that filth. It was stinking, and all surroundings throughout the day I had to be there. How can I say I am not to kill you? But the disciple says, sir, that's what exactly you do. Now, let me bring this analogy to our human beings, our human life. From the pig's perspective, if you see, pig says, I am in my cool, nice, and peaceful place. There is absolutely no tension there. There is absolutely no dearth of food because filth is all around. The pig can eat whatever it wants and whenever it wants. There is no tension, and I can do whatever I feel like. But the pig was having no tension because there were no targets, nothing to search about because food was easily available, though it was stinking and dirt. But yes, there was no tension, so it can do whatever it feel like. And in fact, the dungeon where it was staying, it was actually started loving it. Now, isn't it true with our human beings also? People are happy where they are. They don't want to come out their comfort zone. For example, I'll give you a simple example. Suppose you are in a government sector, government job, and you are getting your pay every 30th of every month. Okay. So you are getting your pay every 30th of every month. And till the time you're getting your pay, you're very, very happy. I'll give a simple example of my own father. He was in railways. Was in railways and he was working for a salary of 130 rupees per month. Can you imagine that? He was working for 130 rupees per month with a meager increment of 3%, and this continued for 20 long years. But he was very happy because at the 30th of every month he was getting that amount without any tension. And that's true with all our human beings. We actually don't know the capabilities we have, the resources we have, what we can do by our dreams. We can make our dreams so powerful. We can make all our dreams come true. But we don't want to come out of the comfort zone. This is just a start. Let's go forward. Like I told you, possibilities are just limitless. You can dream whatever you want, you can achieve whatever you want, you can create your own destiny, and that is the fact. Now, talking about emotions, this is only one part of it where we are happy wherever we are. But what happens is, as we grow old, we carry our emotions also with you. There are so many emotions like anger, arrogance, ego, jealousy. These are the emotions which we carry along with in our mind. These emotions are actually not visible to us, they are not tangible. But we as human beings, we carry these emotions and keep on having the junk or the clutter in our mind. And do you know what these emotions actually do as we go along? They actually harm us. They cause diseases to us. They makes our body, our immunity of our body less. They reduce the immunity of our human being. Okay, so now let's see. This is the disease called diabetes. We are all aware of it. And India is supposed to be a diabetic head center. It's next to China. This was a survey which was carried out in 2019. And if you see the growth of diabetes in India, it's 128% growth rate and 109% in women and 126% in men. And by the year 2040, this was a survey carried out in 2000, I think 2019. Yeah. So the by 2040, there will be 125 million people suffering of diabetes. And we call that diabetes is a hereditary disease. When you go to a doctor, doctor will simply tell you that diabetes cannot be cured. You have to have the medicine throughout your life. That's not true. Diabetes is a lifestyle disease. It can be avoided and it can be cured. Now let us see one more disease. This is called a disease called cancer. We are all aware of it. And cancer is also on the rise. It's increasing every day. And if you see, 1.7 lakh people are diagnosed with common type of cancers. And there are almost 6.5 crore people who are having non-communicable diseases like cancer, diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, etc. This is a survey carried out 218. And can you believe that cancer is also a lifestyle disease? Cancer can be avoided. Now, these diseases, what I'm talking about, are basically the diseases which are caused because of the emotions what we are carrying. We are not clearing the garbage which is there in our mind, and they can be easily be avoided. Let me take you further. Do you know that how much is the percentage of people, how many, what percentage is the diseases are psychosomatic? It's 85%. Can you believe that? 85% of the diseases what we humans have are psychosomatic diseases. 80 to 85%. Exact figure I don't know, but it's between 80 to 85%. And the most important part is that they can be cured very easily. Psychosomatic diseases, they can be cured very easily without any medication. Yes, they can be cured without any medication by spending some time each day for yourself. How many of you believe that your health is your wealth, is in your hands? Put it in the chat box. Let's have some interaction. Put it in the chat box. How many of you believe that health is wealth? Everybody says yes. Manas, Ankit, Ritika, Aviral, Rutuja. I don't believe this. It's all wrong. You're telling lies. If health is wealth and it is in your hands, and if people take care of their health, 100% of the people will be, not 100%, at least 95% of the people will be without any diseases. But that's not the case. People are having diseases, and most 85% of the psychosomatic diseases. That means somewhere we are as individuals neglecting our own health. This is suicidal, and everybody knows it, right? Now let's see this. Let me take you through a life journey. Just put yourself into any of the age brackets and just let me know what I am telling right now is correct or not. When you are 10 years old, you are very happy, you don't have any tensions in your life, you lead a very, very happy life, right? So, there are no health issues, you don't have any inhibitions, and you are doing whatever you want to do. But as you go old and you come to 30 years of age, this is the time where you must have put in 3 to 4 years of service, maybe 5 years of service. And if you are lucky enough and you are married, you have that additional responsibilities. You have the job responsibilities as such. And if you're smart enough, you would have taken some loan and the EMI will be on your head, right? So every month you have to pay the EMIs and there will be relationship challenges. So you have tensions on your head, and by 30, 32 years of age, most of us feel that we are not in the right profession because what you have studied, your interest was something else, but you did something else because of your parents or the society problem, and now you are seeing that this is not the right profession. But then it's too late now, because at that time we will not be able to do that time we will not be able to do anything. You are already started your journey, right? So I think somebody is asking me, how can we, just 1 minute. Okay, I'll answer the questions. I'll answer the questions at the end. I'll answer all your questions. So at 30 years of age, we are actually carrying a baggage of emotions, of mixed emotions, and emotions like anger, annoyance, plus these the responsibilities of paying the EMIs, having the relationship changes. These are all the emotions which are not seen externally, which are not tangible, but which are there in our mind. And by the time you reach 40 years of age, these emotions are already there with you, right? Because your marriage is already there. You might be having children by that time. Your EMIs will increase if you have taken one more loan, one vehicle loan, and one car loan. Your relationship challenges will be there because you have your in-laws, you have your own parents, you have your wife, you have your own children. So you have to, as a head of the family, you have to manage all these, balance all these things. Apart from that, in the service you have put already 12 to 13 years, your targets increase, your work pressure increases, so all those tension, stress, anxiety also increases. 40 years, your tension and your anxiety increases, it becomes very difficult for you to manage. It's a stage where you're not able to manage your tension, but somehow you are doing it. And this is all intangible, mind you. You cannot see all these things, but knowingly or unknowingly, we are carrying it. Just try to place yourself in one of these brackets and just let me know in the chat box if I am wrong. And this is the fact of life. And when you are at 50 years of age, there are other challenges which keep come. You will have so many gifts with you, like the gift of depression, gift of sugar, diabetes, heart problem, BP, etc., etc. Unfortunately, what most of us think that 50 years में तो ये diseases आना ही है. We are bound to get diseases, so why worry now? But that's not the fact. Diseases, these are all lifestyle diseases. You can avoid these diseases. You can have a healthy life. Just tell me one thing. Throughout your life, right from 23, 24 years till you got a job, you have been working very hard for your family, for others, so that you can accumulate lots and lots of money and enjoy it at the end of the fag end when you're going to retire. And at the age of 50, when it's the time to enjoy your money, your hard time, what you're doing now, you are having these gifts with you. You will not be able to eat, you will not be able to go out. So, where is the enjoyment? Ladies and gentlemen, life is so beautiful. If you take care of yourself, just give few minutes during your 30s and 40s, you can have a life at a beautiful life which is healthy, happy, and also you can enjoy, which is disease free, of course, and you can enjoy all the earnings you had throughout your life. And let me tell you, like I am 56, 57 years of age right now, and I don't have any of these problems. Touch wood, I don't have any of these problems right now. And I enjoy my life as a 20-year-old child. I enjoy being with college students to understand their thing. So you have to have the child within you always encouraging you to do something new. So, yes, let me tell you a story, a short story. I will do it fast. A person earns 50 years of his age, he earns 50 crores of rupees. And now he says that this is the time for him. He plans as to how he's going to enjoy the whole of the rest of his life, how he's going to spend the money, where all he's going to do, what all he's going to do. And as he was planning his next second half of his life, there is a knock on the door, and he just goes and opens the door and he sees that there is a Yamaraj standing there, and he says, "Okay, come, let's go." But this man says, "How can I go? I just worked hard for my 50 years of my age, and I just trying to earn, I trying to enjoy the earnings what I had. How can I come with you?" He says, "Ki your time has come." Yamaraj says, "Ki your time has come. You have to come with me. There is no way." He says, "Ki just give me 3 months of time so that I can enjoy the money what I earn, and then I'll come with you." He says, "I think you have not understood me. I come here not on invitation. I come and take people." Now this man starts requesting him, but Yamaraj doesn't uh, bang upon, because he says, "I have come to take you." Now this man says, "Okay, do one thing. You take 50% of my earnings. 25 crores you take. Let me have 25 crores. Just give me 15 days of time. I will enjoy." See the mentality of a human being. The death is in his doorsteps, but he is again trying to bribe the Yamaraj. The Yamaraj says, gives a smile and says, "I think you are not understood. You have to come immediately." So when this person sees that Yamaraj is not at all listening to him, he says, "Just can you give me 1 minute of time?" He says, Yamaraj says, "Okay, take 1 minute of time." The moment he gives 1 minute of time, this person runs, picks up a notepad which is there, picks up a pencil and says, "Gentlemen, I just now came to know that whatever amount of money is there in our bank balance, you cannot earn 1 minute of your time, of your life. So just start enjoying your life right now." And I think this is a story with most of us. We keep accumulating money for our children, for our grandchildren, and all those things, but we don't enjoy life. Enjoy life is all about enjoyment. We should enjoy life as it is, because we don't know when Yamaraj will come and stand in front of our door and then say, "Okay, let's go." So this is the life journey. And yes, when you are 50 years old, you will have two more legs to walk with. You will have all those gifts. And I don't want this to happen to any one of you who are attending today. There are almost 50 people who are attending, and I don't want any one of you to have this two steps. I want you to work, to walk like a confident person, free of diseases, fully happy, enjoying the earnings what you have. Okay, so let's move. Can anybody tell what is this? Put it in the chat box as to what this represent. Can you put it in the chat box, please? What does this represent? Plain sheet, peaceful mind, nothing. Life. Ankit Gupta is telling life. How can life be white? It cannot be white. Swada is telling white screen. Okay, let me tell you. Thank you very much for the response. Let me tell you, this is our mind when we are born. It's like a white slate, and or you can tell a whiteboard. You can write anything on this, and whatever you write, it is going to stay there in our mind. When we are born, each one of us are born genius, and we have all the resources within us to be genius, to make our dreams come true, and do whatever we want to. But as we grow old, we are brought up in the society, our parents, our school, our teachers, and as we grow old, the genius in us is suppressed somewhere. And by the time we reach 18 to 20 years, this is what is our state of mind. Our mind becomes like this. It's totally full of garbage, clutter, and most of these we call it as a limiting beliefs. Like if you are from a lower middle class family, people will say that you cannot earn more money because earning more money will have bad habits for you. So that is a limiting belief which has been put. As a middle class person, if you are a girl born in a middle class family, you will say that as a girl you cannot go out for your higher studies, you have to study here only. That's again a limiting belief. And there are so many beliefs which have been put into us right from our childhood when we are growing up, 4 to 14 years. Because 4 to 14 years is the age where we start developing our subconscious mind. I'll talk about the subconscious mind. And we start developing our subconscious mind. And whatever is the personality we develop between 4 to 14 years, that is going to stay with us throughout our life. 70% of it is going to stay throughout our life. So parenting is very, very critical, because whatever we are doing, whatever we are talking, whatever we are actions we are doing, our children are continuously recording it, and they are making it as their personality. They're developing as their personality, right? So I'm not going into the parenting part is a totally different subject. But then yes, by the time a genius who is born genius becomes an average or a below average by the time he reaches to 18 to 20 years. And this is how the state of mind is. And now you can tell me, how many of you have this met a person who is very angry, who starts quarreling at a very slightest of the things? He has fears, he has sadness, depression, hatred, vengeance, impatience, disconnection, confusion, uncertainty. I'm sure you must have met such people, not many people, right? If you're working, your boss might be having most of these, right? And also, how many of you have met people who are very loving, who are compassionate, who always forgive, who has a beautiful understanding, they have clarity? How many of you have met such people? Let me show you how it is related to our mind. This is what is actually is. Now, when you are in this particular zone, these are the things which are there within your mind. There are lots and lots of clutter, lots and lots of limiting belief, lots and lots of emotions what you are carrying. If you have a thick of these emotions in your mind, you will have all these qualities of anger, quarrel, fight, fright, freeze, and all these things. And as you come down, these other things of happiness, joy, love, compassion, forgiveness keeps increasing. So what happens when you are in the top thing? And for your kind of information, 85 to 90% of the people are somewhere there between 45 and above, and our aim, and once you have this in your mind, it's actually going to affect your health. And this is the reason for most of the psychosomatic diseases, lifestyle diseases. And if you can somehow reduce this clutter in your mind, your life will become smooth. You'll have a clarity in your life. You can achieve your goals. and you will of course be disease free. And mind you, this is very simple. It's very, very simple. Okay, let me also show you as to what happens when you are between 0 to 45 range. Uh, what I mean to say is, when you are between 0 to 45, somewhere here, you have, that's the best learning state. Like you have a wonderful decision making. This is called a peace band, and all the decisions what you take are accurate and they are always correct. But when you come to 45 to 90% of band, your concentrations are low, your decisions are very, very shaky, and this we generally call it as a chaotic band. And here, 85 to 90% of us are here in this 45 to 90% band. And this is again causing going to our lifestyle diseases. And between 90 to 100% the learning is impossible. This is the threshold band where you can see few people who gets angry without any reason. They're always, they have that negative vibes around them. When you reach them, you can feel that negative vibe. They get angry for nothing. So they are in the threshold band, and these are the people who can go into depression, anxiety and stress. So you should always avoid this 90 to 100%. So this I thought, yes, I should tell you. So we should always aim to reduce that clutter and then bring down as much. Now tell me one thing very frankly, and I'm sure 50 people out here, we go to gym to do physical exercise to look physically good, right? Maybe you start a gym, go for 2 or 3 months, leave it, and then again do it. But tell me frankly, how many of you has actually tried to clear your mind, the garbage within your mind, since the time you are born? Any one of you? We never do that. Because, but it's so very important, because our mind and our body are connected. If you have a healthy body and if your mind is not clear, our mind is full of clutter, it's going to affect your health. So it's always important to have a healthy mind and a healthy body. Unfortunately, we all pay lots and lots of attention to our healthy body, which is the physic, and we don't pay any attention to our healthy mind. We never ever try to, only 5% of the people maybe try to remove that garbage which is there, remove that limiting beliefs, come out of that comfort zone and lead a life of our choice. That is the most unfortunate thing, and that's so very painful. Now, this is what is actually required. You have to remove your garbage from your mind. The moment you start removing your garbage from your mind, things will automatically start happening. Life will start transforming. You will not believe this, and this is very, very simple. Now, coming to the medical fraternity, I'm not sure any doctors out here in the this thing webinar. Any doctors? I'm not here, I'm not blaming any doctors. I know doctors are very, very educated, and and I'm not going blaming anybody, but these are the facts. Just let me know if I am wrong anyway. Hmm? Now, we go to the doctors with a particular disease, right? The doctor asks about the symptoms of the disease and he gives a medicine and we get cured. We not remember, doctor asks for the medicines and gives us symptoms and gives us the medicine. So doctor is actually not treating the disease, he's treating the symptoms. If you have a headache, go to a doctor, he will give some medicine, your headache will be gone. But the disease is not yet gone. If the disease is gone, the next time he will not get a headache. Like if somebody has a migraine and he goes to a doctor, he gives some medicine, the migraine is gone. But again, the migraine comes back. It's like this. Like if you have a plant and if you pluck the leaves, now these leaves will again, the plant will come back again. Even if you break the branches will come back again and the tree will grow, plant will grow. But if you want to actually take out the plant, you have to go to the root of the plant, take the roots, and once you take out the root, the plant will die. And that's exactly what will happen with our diseases. If you want a disease to go out permanently, you have to go to the root of the disease and then cure it. But unfortunately, all the doctor, all the medications which are there, it's throughout the world, they treat the symptoms, they don't treat the diseases. And once you treat the symptoms, the disease is still there, the disease will come back again. Let me this is a question would I'd like to ask you, because this is a, there are, you can see that number of hospitals are increasing day by day, and there are huge hospitals which are coming. And since the hospitals are increasing, that means that there is a revenue for the hospitals, the patients are also increasing. Now, if the patients are getting cured, right? If the patients are getting cured, after a particular stage, the patient should not go to the hospital. But it's not the case. 60% of the patients are repeat patients. A patient who has gone will get cured, and again he will go for with the same problem. That means the the hospitals are all increasing, and the patients are also increasing. That clearly shows that there is not a permanent cure for the diseases what the patients are going for. It's a recurring thing. So the doctors are actually treating the symptoms, not the diseases. But the requirement is we have to treat the root of the disease, which unfortunately is not happening. Now, what we want as an individual, if we have come on this earth, what we want a happy life. And that's the reason why we struggle for 50 years for our family and for our children and everybody. And we also want to lead a disease free life. Absolutely. At 50 years, we want to be disease free so that whatever money we have earned, we can go to different places. We can make our hobbies come live. We have not been able to do pursue our hobbies because of the job we have done. So we want a disease free life. And of course, feel to be in 20s when in 50s. 20s thoda sa zyada ho gaya, maybe 30s when we are in 50s, right? So these are the three simple things what we want in life. Correct? Now, what is the solution? Yes, the solution is very simple actually. The solution is neuro-linguistic programming. And you must be thinking a neuro-linguistic programming is very, very complicated. How we are going to do that? I'm going to explain it to you how a neuro-linguistic programming works and how our events are stored in our mind. This is very important to understand, because if you want to go to the root of any problem, you have to understand how to go to the root, how the particular system works, right? I'm trying to explain it to you in a very, very simple language. Then the next question is why NLP? Because NLP is again a permanent solution. It takes the problem from the root. And like I told you, 80% or 85%, 85% of the diseases are psychosomatic diseases. They're all related to mind, and any disease which is related to mind can be cured. It has no side effects, right? Okay. Before I go into this, let me ask one question. Like anger. Anger is one emotion what we have, right? Did we learn anything how to get an anger? We are not learned. It has come to us by natural. And did you have that anger when you were born? No, we didn't have that anger when we were born. So it's a learned behavior, right? And likewise, there are so many things which are learned. Most of the things are learned behaviors. Like if somebody is addicted to cigarette, it's a learned behavior. If somebody is dancing, is a dancer, it's a learned behavior. So all are learned behaviors. And one thing about nature is whatever is learned can be unlearned also. Once you are learned, like if you have become addicted to cigarette, that is a learned behavior. So you can also unlearn the thing and then replace that with a particular. So this is the basic concept on which an NLP works. So it has no side effects. Like if you have some problem, I'm working a particular technique on you, and if it is not working, it will not work. It will not have any side effects. But I can try another technique and work on it. But it's not the case with medication. When you take any medication, it certainly has a side effect. Today or today you will not be able, as a young person, our metabolism is so strong, we will not be able to know how effective is it. But then as we grow old, these medicines what we take has a side effect, because these have chemicals and our body doesn't accept anything from outside, because our body is in such so much immune that it can take care of itself. Like if you have a cut, if you don't treat it, the cut will automatically go off after a few days, because our body is capable of doing that. Even when you have a fractured leg, a bone, what the doctor does is basically he places that bone in the normal place and then puts a plaster. Internally, the bone is recovering on itself because our body is recovering itself. It's putting the bone back into place and giving all the things so that the bone becomes strong again. So it doesn't, NLP doesn't have any side effects. And the solutions are quick. Like few of these solutions we can have within few minutes, we can resolve it. And they are proven and tested techniques. They have been used in the Western countries since 1970s. In India, it has come recently and it is on a rise, and they're all proven. Well, I would also like to mention here that these are not the things which I have studied from somewhere in the book and then I'm just putting it to you, because these are the techniques which I have applied on myself and I have seen a change, and then I am actually explaining it. And that's the reason why I'm so very confident when I talk about these things, right? Like quick solution, I'll tell you about a quick solution. Like one of my patient had a peculiar problem of playing with the powder, any powder it may be. She wants to have that powder in her hand every time, like maybe it is talcum powder, maybe it is an atar or something like that, and she was not able to leave it, and the reason was not known. Why she was doing that, she was also not knowing, and I was also not knowing. So we just had 15 to 20 minutes of some techniques applied on her, and then within half an hour that problem was permanently solved. So that powerful is our technique, and that was again related to mind. There was something which her mind, which was a limiting belief which was there, and because of that she was got addicted to this powder problem. So they are so effective. Now, coming to communication, how our mind communicates, that's very important to understand, and how NLP takes this communication without our mind, within our mind. Okay. Now, NLP model of communication is something like this. Like, this is our mind, and there is an event. Let me take a event of what do you call it, a orchestra or a musical night. Okay, now this musical night is going on and it is seen by two people. One person is a youth who is going to college, who loves songs, who loves dancing. So this musical night was having with songs and dancing, so he was looking at that event. And another person was an academician. He is an IITian who has 3 PhD degrees with him, and he was looking at it. Okay, now certainly there will be a the perception of what this college student will have to this towards that event will be different. He will enjoy it, maybe he will go and join that particular thing and will start dancing it also. Whereas the same academician who is looking at this particular event, he will say like, this is bad, such things are a waste of time, and actually the youth is wasting time by having these events, right? The event is same, it's perceived by two different people in two different ways. Let me give some more example. Like winning the lottery, a person can win a lottery, and when he sees, I've taken 3 examples. So winning the lottery, your first love, and you have got a good marks in class 11th and 12th, right? Now when we see this event of winning the lottery, it goes into a subconscious mind, but it doesn't go directly. It actually, it goes through 5 senses. Like we have 5 senses: we can see, we can hear, we can feel, we can taste, and we can smell. Everything in our mind is stored in 5 senses. Right now when you are looking at me, you are hearing to my voice, that's okay, but after 1 hour you will not remember whatever I have spoken, words I have spoken. You will only remember my facial expression, my body language, and my tonality of the voice. These are the things which you are going to remember, because these are the 5 senses into which our mind stores everything, right? Now there are 2 million bits per second of information which goes to our mind every second, because we keep on getting the events in our all around, and our mind has a mechanism of deleting, distorting, and then generalizing. Let me take the first example of that, the one which the musical night. when the youth sees it, he enjoys it, right? And just 1 minute, yeah. So when the academician sees that particular musical night, he deletes most of the information because he is not at all interested in that. He might not see the light, he might not see the people there, he just deletes it because it's of no interest. Whereas the youth actually sees most of the information. Maybe the information which is not beyond the stage, he will delete it because it's not, that's not of his interest. So he's deleting so many things. And whereas the academician will distort the thing, saying that this is not good for the society, not good for the youth. And also the academician may generalize it because such type of events are a waste of time. People get spoiled, youth get spoiled because of this. He is generalizing the statement, whereas this is not true as far as the youth is concerned. Youth will not never say this is waste, because for youth this is an entertainment, and maybe he will get rejuvenated once he enjoys this musical night. So the event is same, but it's perceived by different people in a different way. That is called the perception. So now the event is same, but it's in stored internally in a different way by different people. That is called the internal representation. Okay. Now this is the internal state. Now this internal state, in the case of a youth, it is a happy state because he is enjoying it. Whereas in the case of an academician, is a sad state, angry state, whatever it is. Now when this state goes, this actually goes to our physiology. Now this affects our physiology. The output is actually goes to the physiology, the way we behave, the way we answer, and this internal state is extended to physiology and it goes to our behavior. Right? So in this example, for winning the lottery, one person may say that yes, we can invest that money and make use of that money. And if you have your first love, somebody can go and say that yeah, I'm going to marry that my first love. There may be people who say कि यार ये पहले love है, छोड़ो उसको, अगले देखते हैं. So it's your internal state. And in the case of getting a good percentage in class 12th and line, you can think of having joining a big company, good job. So how it is stored in your internal memory, that's how your behavior will be. So one thing is very clear, that the event might be same, but that will be perceived by different people differently. And how it is perceived by different people will be the output of that person, behavior of that person. I will try to yeah, I know it's becoming slightly high. So can you put it in the chat box? I want to make it more simpler. What is clean mantra for success? Komal is asking. Yeah, I'll tell you. What is O and G? O is olfactory, that is the smell, and G is the gustatory, that is the taste. So these five senses. Okay, so is it going high? Let me try to explain you more in a simpler way, but this is how it works. Like you have two minds. One is called the conscious mind. The other is called the subconscious mind. Right? Conscious mind is just 10% of it. And what I am talking to you right now, you're listening to me, you're looking at me, this is your conscious mind looking at me. Now, if at this stage I tell you to just close your eyes and just remember your mother, I'm sure your mother's picture will come. That means somewhere deep inside your mind, in the subconscious part, your mother's image is stored. Does your mother's name come in front of you? It will not, because our mind is not trained to store names, words. It will never store. It only will store in five senses: visual, audio, feelings, smell, and taste. Right? So our conscious mind thinks logically. It has a logical mind. It thinks logically, and it's short term. It's not long term. Like you are looking at me, I'm talking to you. Maybe after a few days you will actually forget me, or forget this particular talk what I'm giving, because this is there in your conscious mind. But if somehow I can take this to your subconscious mind, if this gets imprinted into your subconscious mind, this will be with you for a lifelong. Okay, so the other part is your subconscious mind, which is 90% of it, and our life actually is driven by our subconscious mind. And we can create our destiny, we can create our future, we can create our health through our subconscious mind. It's a long term memory. For example, I'll give an example of a long term. I'll give examples of two or three of them. Long term memory. Suppose you have learned swimming in your childhood, right? There are two ways of learning the swimming. One, you just take out a notebook where the procedure of learning the swimming is there. You just read out you have to go get into the water, just start fluttering with your hands and legs. You start floating and you learn swimming. This is the theoretical part. And the other practice, you practically go into the water, learn the swimming, and do this thing, and then learn swimming. So do you think the first part will be effective after we'll be able to learn the swimming by just going by the theory? No. But by the second part, like if you have learned swimming practically, even if you go and jump into the water after 20, 30 years, you will still be able to swim, because that has become a permanent place in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is trained. Similar is the case like when you're going from your house to the office, the route is fixed. You're going every day. There are so many days when you start your car or your vehicle and you reach your office and you don't even come to know through which which route you have come, but you have reached, because that route has been fixed like a GPS in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind takes you. And this is exactly the same with your life. If you put something into your subconscious mind, like you say that I want to earn 1 lakh of rupees by year 2025 per month. And if that goes to your subconscious mind, mind you will earn 2 lakhs of rupees. It's your limiting belief. It can be 5 lakhs of also. So the thing is, it has to go into your subconscious mind. This is a long-term memory. Emotions and feelings. Right now, if I say that, just remember the day when you are married. This is one of the most auspicious days of your life. Of course, this is only for those people who are married. Unmarried people, they can remember any other good incidents of their life. And the moment you close your eyes, you can see all the pictures of your marriage, your friends, the dress you wear, the color of the dresses you wear. And of course, you can also get the feelings, right? That means the term marriage triggers that particular program which is stored in your subconscious mind, and the moment it's triggered, all the visuals come in place and you have those feelings. These are the emotions and feelings. These are very, very effective. They're very, very strong. Okay. So similar is the case with any sad feeling also. The emotions, sad emotions are also there stored in your subconscious mind. Now, coming to the habits, relationship patterns, and addictions. Addictions are nothing like somebody is addicted to cigarettes. Now, the moment he sees a cigarette shop, his heartbeat might increase. His body becomes means very, very what you call heartbeat might increase. He may start sweating. He might feel like having the cigarette, right? But the reason why he's having the cigarette, why he's feeling that way, that has to be known. And if I can somehow replace that particular program, because now cigarette shop is the anchor which he is getting. The moment he sees a cigarette shop, his body language changes, his feelings changes, because that particular program in his subconscious mind gets triggered. If somehow I can replace that, then it can be changed. I'll show you as we go ahead, right? Involuntary body functions. There are so many functions which are going, processes which are going on in our body, like our blood circulation. Unknowingly, our subconscious mind is continuously working. Our heartbeat, our digestive system, these are all involuntary body functions which are continuously going since the time we are born till we are dead. So this is also a part of our subconscious mind function. The different development stages, the spiritual connection, the intuition. It happens sometimes that you think about your friend, long time friend whom you have not met for a long, long time, and you think for him 2 or 3 days, and you will see that you will get a phone call from him or some message will come from him. That's because our subconscious mind, it gets connected to his subconscious mind. Everything is energy in this world. And if you think something very strongly and you very badly need that, it will come to you. The moment you start thinking about your friend, that energy travels to his subconscious mind and somehow it gets linked up. And that's how the energy flow works. Okay, so this is how what is all about conscious and the subconscious mind. So 90%, if you can control your subconscious mind, you can control your life. You can create your own destiny. The major problem is our conscious mind has limiting beliefs. It doesn't allow us to think big. It doesn't allow us to dream big, and that's the reason why we don't get more. The more you think, the more you dream. And if you can somehow have that communication of positivity, positive thinking from your subconscious mind to your conscious mind, from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind, things will be so good. And by the way, let me tell you, our human mind is by default negative thinking. We have around 60,000 thoughts which come to us every day, and 85% of these thoughts are negative thoughts. So by default, our conscious mind is trained to think negative. And of course, when you think negative, the same thing goes to a subconscious mind, the results will also be negative. So the aim is to make our conscious mind think positive by default. That is the key. Okay, if somehow we can make our conscious mind to think positive, our output will be positive. Okay, now suppose I'm just giving a vague example. Suppose there is a child. This is all for all the parents, right? Suppose there is a child, and the child has been told so many times from his childhood that you are not good at drawing, you cannot draw. Now this can be told by the parents, it has been told by the teachers, it has been told by the friends, and not once, so many times it has been told that you're not good at drawing, you cannot draw. Now this has gone and stored in subconscious mind of that child that I'm not good at drawing. And now as the child becomes big, and if a paper and a pencil is given to him and just somebody says that draw, that particular program in his subconscious mind gets triggered, his body language changes, the internal representation gets triggered, and his body language changes, his behavior changes, and the first thing it will say, I can't draw. And that is not the fact. This particular response is coming from the child because from the childhood, so many times it has been told to him time and again that you are not good at drawing, you cannot draw. And that's the reason why this particular response is coming. If the same child has been encouraged in the childhood saying that, yes, you can draw well, just keep trying, maybe you would have become a good artist by now. This response will not be there. So that's why I tell you, parenting is so very important. You should never use any negative words with your children, because though they don't understand the words, they understand the body language. Because when we have communication between two people, 93% of the communication is non-verbal, only 7% is verbal. And non-verbal means our body language, our facial expressions, our skin color, our tonality. These are the things which are stored in a subconscious mind of a child when he grows up. So using negative words is so very bad. Okay, so that's how our subconscious mind works. I hope I'm clear. In case if you have any doubts, before I go ahead, I'll just try to take the answer. What is BPS? Where is the word used? BPS, I don't know. Let me see. Okay, what is clean mantra for success? या क्लीन मंत्रा फॉर सक्सेस. इतना अच्छा अगर मंत्रा होता तो मंत्र जैसे भगवान के लिए जप करते हैं ना, वैसे जप करके सक्सेसफुल मिल जाता. इतना इजी थोड़ी होता है. देयर इज नो क्लीन मंत्रा फॉर सक्सेस. द ओनली क्लीन मंत्रा फॉर सक्सेस इज यू हैव टू क्लीन योर माइंड. You have to clean out the clutter of your mind. The mantra will automatically come. Things will automatically happen. Okay, so let me okay, somebody was asking me BPS. BPS is beats per second. That was there in the NLP, this thing. Okay, so what is NLP actually? Now let me share this. Let me see how the programs are stored in our subconscious mind. Okay, so suppose there is an event. I just give the same example what I have given about the orchestra or the musical night, which is seen by two people. Okay, the youth, and of course the other person is an academician who is having 3 PhDs. Now when he sees the event, he actually have these 5 senses in his mind. Like he sees it with his eyes, he is not able to touch it, but of course he can hear the sound, and to some extent he can have the feelings, kinesthetic. Okay, so these three are very, very prevalent, and he stores them in his subconscious mind. Now the youth can recall that particular event even after maybe 5 to 6 years, because these three things have audio, visual, and feelings have gone strong, and it has gone into a subconscious mind. It has stored in his subconscious mind as a pattern. Now not only that, after 4 years or 5 years, when he sees a musical night, that particular program in his subconscious mind will get triggered, and that particular event he can see it there in front of him. So this is how the programs are stored in our subconscious mind. For example, I'll give one more example. I always keep telling about parents. Like suppose you are going with your child, maybe 6 to 7 years of child, on a scooter or on a car. Okay, you are in a hurry and you see there is a red light just has come, and you jump the red light and cross it. Now in the school, your child has been taught that if you are there is a red light, you are supposed to stop, and if it is a green, you have to go. But since you are in a hurry, you're thinking that your child will not see, you'll just cross it. But your child has recorded that in his subconscious mind. And the child knows that your father, her father, or his father has done a wrong by crossing that red light. And this gets stored in a subconscious mind. And this stores, this is there. Whenever he sees a red light or a junction, that particular program gets triggered. And this is how the events are stored in our subconscious mind. Okay, so you have to be very, very careful when you are talking about your child. Now how does NLP work? This is again an interesting, I will try to explain it in a very, very crude manner as to how we do a replacement of program. Suppose I'll take the same example of a person having a addiction of a cigarette, right? Whenever he sees a cigarette shop, he gets triggered, that particular program in his subconscious mind gets triggered. Maybe at that particular time his heartbeat might increase, he might start sweating, or one of his muscles might start pulling. So what he does is, the moment that particular trigger gets triggered, he goes to the cigarette shop and just buys the cigarettes and have the cigarette. The moment he has cigarette, the things get normalized, right? So now suppose I have any other incidents in his life which was very, very happy. I take him to that particular state of happiness, joy. Maybe I'll take an example of his marriage, if he's married, and I will take him to that particular trance state wherein he can see his pictures of his marriage and he's enjoying it. People are dancing, he can see all the pictures, and this particular program, I am bypassing his conscious mind, I'm directly putting it in his subconscious mind, and now he's in a high energy state. And at that particular stage, right, when if I change the trigger, if I say that when he is in that high particular state, I'll just tell him to press 2 fingers of his hand. Now this is becomes his anchor, and the moment he presses 2 fingers of his hand, his that particular program of high state of happiness, joy, and thing will be get triggered. Now he releases it. Okay, so what I have done is, I have put another program in his mind which is replacing, not replacing right now, but yes, it is another program which is in a positive state, and he is very, very happy. And that particular program, and at that, when he is in peak of that, I have given him a trigger of pressing his hands, right? And I have actually replaced the trigger. Now the cigarette trigger has now been replaced with this positive trigger. Now what happens is, what happens is, when the next time, whenever he sees a cigarette shop and he gets that particular program gets activated, he just have to do is, he has to press these 2 fingers of his. The moment he presses these 2 fingers, his other program gets triggered, and that cigarette wala program gets suppressed. And over a period of time, this particular, he can actually come out of the addiction. This is a simple way how the subconscious mind reprogramming of a subconscious mind is done using NLP. Okay, so anyway, so anybody has any doubts, you can ask the thing before we go further. Yes, on how a subconscious mind works, how how the NLP works. Any this thing before I go further. Okay. So if there are no queries, either you have understood everything or you have not understood anything. Okay. Sir, how to remove confusion from the mind? I'll tell you now. Just wait for some time. I will just tell you now. Have patience. Okay, so let's move forward. Well, I am here with a mission. I am here with a mission. My mission is to transform 10,000 lives by December 2021, make people happy, healthy, and make their lives disease free. I want to transform 1 lakh lives by December 2025 because I strongly believe that the old age, above the age of 50, is the time where we have to enjoy. And if you have to enjoy our life, we have to be healthy and happy. And yes, NLP is one technique, and Guna is one technique where I have seen, I applied on myself, and it can be done very easily. And make them lead a happy and a healthy life. And this, of course, using very simple and foolish tools and techniques for the benefit of human beings, and also see people happy and smiling at the age of 50 plus. Okay, so this is my mission. And what NLP can actually do is NLP can sharpen your memory. When a child does an NLP, his memory gets sharpened very fast. In fact, I don't have time. Otherwise, I would have given you 30 words, and within 5 minutes, you could have by heard those 30 words from top to bottom and bottom to top and also in between. That's how an NLP works, right? Maybe in the next workshop, I will do that. Make children more positive and more confident, and remove the phobias permanently. Phobias can be removed permanently from the root. And remove the garbage. Yes, the moment the garbage is removed, the confusion is removed. And make your mind think positively. This is very important. By default, your mind thinks positively. Anything comes, you will just say, yes, I can do it. You're ready to face the challenge, which is not the case with 85% of us. And make us achieve our goals. We can achieve whatever goals we want. We can achieve whatever goals we set, whatever we can make our dreams come true, right? And it removes things like depression, anxiety, unexplained behavior, relationship, addictions, and many, many more quite easily. This is the power of NLP. Well, this is a four-step transformation framework which I have made for myself. This is designed by me, basically to transforming a mediocre mindset to a growth mindset, or I can say from a garbage mind to a clear mind. So this is the four-step transformation. And in the first step, it's basically understand your garbage, know your clutter, and remove your clutter. Okay, so you have to clear the garbage first. And if I can explain this, in the second step, what you have to do is you have to clear the garbage and implant positive beliefs into your mind. And in the third step, you have to nurture these positive beliefs. The moment you do that, you will have a healthy mind and you have a healthy life. So your happy life will be very happy. Now, let me explain this with a natural frame, because how I came to this particular phenomena or this particular framework is very, very simple. I have taken it from the nature. Suppose you have a barren land which is full of weeds. Okay. Now, if you want to sow some seed into this particular barren land, it will be very difficult for you to see the seed, nurture the seed, because it's full of weeds, and to find a small seedling or a plant coming out of it is becomes very difficult. Now, if you clear those the same barren land, if you clear that particular weeds and then plow it up and then sow the seeds, isn't it very easy for you to look after each and every seedling which is coming up, because there are no weeds now? And once you look at it, you start nurturing them. And once you start nurturing them, naturally it will come out to be a beautiful plant with strong roots. And if it is a fruitful, if it's a fruit bearing plant, it will give beautiful fruits. And same is true with human beings. If you start nurturing, if you clear your garbage, if you are if you are able to implant positive beliefs, if you are able to implant your dreams, and if you nurture those beliefs, you are certainly going to get it. You can have a beautiful life of your own. Like, and it's very, very simple. If I can do it, each one of you can do it. You have a few, I don't have a huge future in front of me. I'm already 57, 58, 56, 57. But then, yes, I want to live my life. See, I have a dream of serving the people till the last breath. And if you see this dream for yourself also, you'll always be healthy. There is no way you can fall ill. The moment you start thinking that, yes, I might fall ill, I might have to take medicines, that's going to happen, because that's how your subconscious mind works. It makes true whatever you feel you want to be. So it's all in your thoughts. Okay. So, well, now somebody was asking me as to how to clear the clutter. These are the three basic exercises which are going to clear your mind. And I will also say these are the foolish exercises, because right now I'm going to tell you all these exercises. This is a bonus from me. Okay, now you can do these exercises at your home, and you just need 10 minutes of yours to do this exercise. Rest of these exercises you can do on the go. There is no fixed time, you can do anytime. So one is called the Pico Pico. This is not an LP exercise, this is a Huna exercise, which basically Huna in Hawaiian language, this is from Hawaiian islands, and they have been practicing this for years, centuries together, and this is their way of life, right? And in Hawaiian, Pico Pico means center to center. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through to this particular first exercise, which regulates your energy in your body and makes your mind peaceful, and you can really feel it in the next 5 to 6 minutes. So what I request all of you is to just be away from any distractions, and I'm going to walk you through this particular exercise. And when I say that, your attention should go to the top of your head, means when you breathe in, your attention should go to the top of your head, and when you breathe out, your attention should go to your navel. Okay, so just follow my instructions and just enjoy this for the next 5 to 6 seconds. So all of you can sit comfortably wherever you are with feet flat on the ground, and also you can make your back straight, shoulders wide. Just close your eyes and just sit comfortably, relaxed. Close your eyes, take deep, steady, deep breathe in, and slow and steady breathe out. Breathe in slow and steady, and breathe out slow and steady. Now start relaxing your body from your toe. Relax your toes, relax your ankles, relax your calf muscles, relax your knees, relax your thighs, relax your abdomen, your chest, relax your shoulders, relax your hands and your neck. Relax your whole body down your neck. Maybe if you want, you just tighten your muscles and relax them. And your whole body below your neck is totally relaxed now. Relax your cheeks, relax your facial muscles, relax your forehead, and relax your eyes. There are hundreds of muscles around your eyes. Just relax them. They're so tensed up. Relax all the muscles. You are in a deep state of relaxation. Go deeper and deeper into state of relaxation. As you are going to state of relaxation, just gently take your attention to the top of your head when you breathe in. Breathe in, top of your head, and when you breathe out, your attention should go to your navel. Breathe in, top of your head, and breathe out through your navel. Breathe in and breathe out. And you can see that your breathing has becoming smoother and smoother with each successive breath. As your breath becoming smoother and smoother, all the tension in your body is now melting down like a molten wax. It's coming down your forehead, slowly, slowly trickling down onto your eyebrows, to your cheeks, coming down onto your neck and to your shoulders. Your attention should go to your breathing. When you breathe in, top of your head, and when you breathe out, through your navel. Breathe in and breathe out. The tension from your shoulder in the form of wax is coming down onto your forehands, slowly, slowly trickling down. Feel the wax trickling down onto your wrists, your palms, and to your fingers. And from the tip of the fingers, it's going out of your body drop by drop. Your attention should go to your breathing. When you breathe in, top of your head, and when you breathe out, through your navel. Breathe in and breathe out. The tension from your shoulder is coming down to your upper back, your chest, your lower back, and to your abdomen. All the tension in your body is now melting down like a molten wax, and you can feel it's trickling down, coming onto your thighs and to your knees. Your attention should go to your breathing. When you breathe in, top of your head, and when you breathe out, through your navel. Breathe in and breathe out. The tension from your thighs, it's coming down, trickling slowly, slowly onto your calf muscles and to your ankles and to the bottom of your feet. And from the bottom of the feet, it's going out of your body deep inside the earth to the center of the earth. All the tension in your body is now going out from the tip of your fingers and bottom of your feet. Your attention should go to your breathing. When you breathe in, top of your head, and when you breathe out, through your navel. Breathe in and breathe out. Now there is a small change. When you breathe in, your attention should go to the top of your head, and when you breathe out, 6 inches below your feet. Breathe in, top of your head, and breathe out 6 inches below your feet. Now you are feeling totally peaceful and relaxed. Now you are breathing in life energy, which is pure, which is shining, which is scintillating, and which is full of joy, happiness, luck, confidence, enthusiasm, power, satisfaction, blessings, courage, clarity, affection, abundance, good health, success, and lots of wealth. Feel this life energy spreading to each and every part of your body. Your body is now getting rejuvenated because this life energy is spreading to each and every cell of your body. Your cells of your body are now dancing in resonance. You can feel the tickling in your skin now. You are in a total state of peacefulness and relaxation. Enjoy this state of peacefulness and relaxation for the next few seconds and let this life energy spread to each and every cell of your body. Just feel your feet on the ground, feel your hands on your thighs, just feel the place where you are sitting, feel the light in the room, and if you can, just hear to the sound in the room all around, and in your own time, not very fast, not very slow, just come back and open your eyes. Just put it in the chat box. What was your experience? How was the experience? Are you feeling light now? Are you feeling relaxed? Just put it in the chat box because it's very important for me to understand that. Ashwin feeling relaxed and light. Komal relaxed, very light. Swatha very light. Good. Okay. Just imagine that with this 5 to 6 minutes, if this much of change can come in you, what will happen when you do it for maybe 20 days or 25 days. This is certainly going to clear that garbage. This is one thing, one exercise which is very, very effective and it's proven. All you have to do is just put the, if I give the audio to you, just put it in your ear and just listen to it. That's all. Just 5 to 6 minutes, nothing else. So this is one exercise which is very, very powerful. The second exercise, this I call it as foolish exercise also, and most of you must be doing, telling me also foolish. What you have to do is, this creates actually pleasant personality, creates a pleasant milieu and increases tendency to appreciate. What you have to do is, look at everything in your house, just whether it's a living thing or a non-living thing, have a smile on your face and just start appreciating it. Okay, like if you are in a living room, appreciate the wall, the color of the walls, appreciate the wall hangings, appreciate the sofa set, appreciate the TV and each and everything which is there in your living room. Have a smile on your face and appreciate it, right? With a smile on your face, go into your dining hall, look at everything, just have a smile and just start appreciating it. Similarly, go to the bedroom, and we do it every day. As I go ahead, I'll just show you. So we have to appreciate and smile, right? And this is looks very simple, but it's very, very powerful, because it will change your personality from a person who is angry, who is not at all smiling, to a person who will always smile and start appreciating people. And if you start appreciating people, who will not like it, right? It's a natural human tendency. So this is the second exercise which I recommend you to do it. And of course, the third exercise is, and call it an authority exercise. This is again is a very, very powerful and a proven exercise, and it creates peace, harmony, synergy, and it actually makes you with your son. Suppose this exercise is like this. I call it as a continue exercise also. Suppose you are a king or a queen and you are dressed up like a king or a queen, and everything around you is your praja. And when I say everything, it is a non-living things also. Everything you see is your praja. And what you have to do is, you have to look at a particular thing. Suppose you are in front of your mobile, look at the mobile and just say continue doing what you are, because as a king or a queen, you are not going to disturb anybody. Let them do what they are doing. Suppose you are looking at your mobile and just say continue doing what you are doing. Look at the fan and say continue doing what you are doing. Or in short, you have to just say continue. Okay, so what you have to do is, you have to look at each and everything, say continue, and in a minute you have to look at 65 things, 65 to 70 things, and say continue. It has to be that fast. Okay, continue. Look at everything and just say continue. The one thing what you have to remember is, when you're looking at your mobile and saying continue, your 100% attention should be there on the mobile. The moment you switch over to the fan, your 100% attention should be on the fan. You should not do it mechanically. You have to do it consciously. And you have to switch from one to the other, almost 65 to 70 things in a minute. That is the secret, and that is the thing. So how it works is very simple. Our mind doesn't keep quiet. Continuously thoughts keep coming. And we start analyzing. Like I tell, logical. Our logical mind start analyzing it. You had look at anything and your mind will start going from one point to the other point to the different point, right? It will go to somewhere else. You look at a mobile and you might land up in some for some market or doing a shopping. So that's how the chain of reactions take place. By doing this, what you're doing is, you're not allowing your mind to think. You are switching from one to the other very fast. 65 means 1 minute 60 seconds. You are looking at 65 things and switching one to the other very fast. So during this, and you have to do this for 3 to 4 minutes. Initially, it will be difficult, I'm sure, but as you do it, it will be very, very easy. In this 4 to 5 minutes, when you're doing, you're not allowing your mind to think anything else. You're keeping your mind stable, and that is the key. And I have known people whose anger has reduced drastically by doing this exercise. When you go on a road, for example, when you go on a road, and this exercise can be done anytime. You're going from home to the office, or you're doing your work. It's not necessary that you do in the morning only. Even appreciate and smile you can do anytime. There is no particular day and time. So What I'm telling you is effectively you have to spend that 5 minutes or 6 minutes only for doing that pico pico exercise, where you need to have some silence, no disturbance. Rest of these two exercises you can do any time of the day. Isn't it easy? And I can assure you, you do it for 20 21 days continuously without fail, and without coming to any conclusions or without drawing an analysis, you will see a changed behavior in you. Your garbage will get reduced. This I have done with so many people. You, if you are angry, if you are short tempered, your anger will go. If you are a person who is not smiling, you will start smiling. People will start appreciating you. People will say that why, how your behavior has changed. You will have a peaceful mind. Your garbage will be reduced. So these are the three profound exercises, which is a bonus from me. One I have done, and if you want, you can contact me. I can give you the audio recording. And okay, so the other one, what program which I follow is called a Magical Mornings with You. This is for you, not for me. Okay, this is a total transformation journey to a new personality 2.0. Okay, so what I'm telling you this because here in this module which we have started, we do it from 5:30 to 6:30 every day morning, and this I started in December. Why I have started this is there is a reason. The previous program, that three exercises, what I have done, what I used to do, I used to, people when used to come, I used to do one-to-one counseling, and I used to tell them कि ये चार exercise कर लो आप और मेरे को एक महीने के बाद बताओ. So people are not very serious about it. They used to do maybe once in a week or twice in a week, and maybe few of exercises. But even after that, the results were profound. They used to come back and tell me कि बहुत सारा change आया मेरे behavior में. People started asking me कि how this particular change has come. So I thought कि if I can do these exercises regularly with them continuously when I am there in the morning, so the changes has to be 100%. The outcome has to be 100%. That's the reason why I started this on 1st of December, and we have these things incorporated in this morning ritual. We do it for 1 hour. We have self image, we have the exercise, I call it a ritual actually, ritual of self image, improving our self image, because unless we love ourselves, it's impossible for us to love others. I have gratitude. We have 15 minutes of physical exercise because it's very important to be physically fit and mentally stable. We have to have a balance. So we have a physical exercise session, then we have the affirmations, then I have the meditation. I have different types of guided meditation. I have the garden, I have the pico pico, I have the meadows, and of course the final is the visualization, wherein we set our targets, and we set our targets for the month, two small targets, and we achieve those targets. The results have been profound, and at the end of the month we actually review as to how many targets have been achieved by everybody, and 80 to 85% have been achieved, or they are in the process of achievement. So my thinking was correct, and I am doing it every day with you people, and the results have been profound. Okay, so here are the two testimonials just for academic interest. Just listen to this testimonial.
Hi, Sanshu here, and I want to say a few words of thanks to Mr. Srinivas China for the time, energy, and focus he has given to me. He's an NLP and Guna expert, and he actually took a few one-on-one sessions with me to help me find out what incidents, people, or things might be there in the past that are not helping me, or rather stopping me from moving forward in life, and also to visualize my future as to where I want to be, what do I want to achieve. And they have been immensely helpful. Thank you, Srinivas, for all your efforts and utilizing your skills for my betterment. I wish you all the luck. May you help millions of people around the world. And I thank you so much. Bye bye.
Hi, my name is Rituja. I have been practicing the NLP techniques that have been taught to me by Captain Srinivas sir. So I have been practicing more of the visualization technique, and I've set targets for myself, and I keep on practicing the technique. And for my surprise, I actually can see the results. Like I've set the targets and I've achieved them on the specified date that I have set the targets for, and I can see the results. So I recommend everyone to go through this NLP techniques that Srinivas explains and practice it. It is definitely beneficial. Thank you so for all the guidance and support, and keep supporting, keep guiding. Thank you.
So life is so simple. Life is very simple. We have come on this earth to do something, to leave a legacy behind, not to just pass on the time and go back. We have all the resources, we can dream anything what we want, and we can achieve whatever we want. And we have been getting the results. So I have two programs. One is the morning rituals, which I have told you. This is an ongoing program, and I do it with you. In the sense, I personally am there every day morning from 5:30 to 6:30, and we are doing these exercises. All these six of these powerful exercises, and I have also included those four basic exercises which I have told you: the Pico Pico, appreciate and smile, and of course the other one, that is authority, into these rituals. So the results are profound, and results had to be good. There is results had to be 100%. There is absolutely no doubt in that. So I do it with you. And other program which I have, there is a magic of NLP Huna. I teach you do concept, in the sense, because there are few people who has morning classes, morning schools. They have to prepare the breakfast for the kids. They're not able to, somehow they want to, but they're not able to attend the morning rituals. For them, I have another session, or 30-day session, wherein they can attend one day morning rituals with us, and we will give a recording to them. And then I'll take a weekly feedback for four feedbacks every week to see the progress, what they're doing, whether they're doing it correctly or not. And also I will have two one-to-one sessions with them to see what all problems they are facing in their life. Because the emotion, there might be few emotions which are they carrying from their childhood, which needs to be removed. Because until unless the garbage is removed, it's very difficult to have your visualization techniques, and you're getting the targets and getting the target. So I have one-to-one sessions with them. So these are the two programs. And well, about the morning rituals, you can call it investment. When I call it an investment, it becomes people will raise an eyebrows, because I'm sure that with this particular slide, people will go up. But that's, yes, it's an investment, because I generally take this class for 25,000 rupees a month, because 25,000 is not much if you see, if you're changing or transforming your life. The life you are in a happy and a depressed state, to a place where you can actually see your future, bright future, set your targets and achieve those targets. 25,000 is not much, right? It's a peanuts, because we spend so much of money for, if you have a child, if it goes for an if he goes for an admission to a competitive class, we pay lakhs of rupees. But how much money we spend for ourselves? We don't spend anything. This is an investment for your betterment, for your life. Okay, so 25,000 is not much an amount, but then yes, as I told you, my mission is something different. I'm not here to make money, because I have served the country for 25 years. I don't want to make money. So it's not 25,000 rupees. It's just 5,000 rupees for today, for my magical morning class, if you are going to attend. But then I would like to bring to your attention one very important thing, like commitment and consistency. Even if you pay me money, and if you are not committed, and if you are not consistent, I don't want you in my class, because if you are not committed and consistent, results will not be there. Let me give a very simple example. Success is all about 15% of knowledge and 85% of attitude. After a particular stage in life, this this will not work. Your knowledge will not work. It's only your attitude which will work, bring you success. Similarly, when we talk about investment, 85% of your investment is your time, and 15% is only cash. Take for example, if you take any share, the amount of study time spent by you before buying that particular share is much more. And even once you buy that share, the amount of time you spend to see how the share is doing, it's all about time. 85% is all about time, and 15% is only cash. If you can't give time when you are joining my morning session, I tell you not to join. If you're not committed, please don't join my morning rituals, because your commitment and your commitment consistency is for your good. And if you are committed and consistent, results will be 100%. So this investment is 5,000 rupees, which I said it's for today. I'm actually giving it very special offer. I'm just giving it, if you pay it now, and it's just rupees 999. This is for 1 month. You pay it now, and it's just for 999. And I'm going to share the link also with you. Just 1 minute, give me a second. I'm just stopping this thing, and you can pay it through this for the next 15. Just 1 minute. Yeah, this is the link. You can pay it, and it's 999 only. Once you pay it, you just have to inform me on my number that you have paid, so that we can reconcile. So there are two links. You can pay it any of the links. Okay, great. So just let me share the screen once again. Okay, so while people are paying, the bonus what I'm going to give with this is, actually I'm going to give free one-to-one counseling worth 5,000 rupees, and also my ebook, which is Children Are Valued Treasures. This is an ebook which is available in Amazon, but I'm going to give it free because this is very, very important ebook which I have written, where is a collection of stories, and each story actually has a moral. And when your child reads these stories, there is a creative mind of the child which gets enlightened up, and he starts thinking. Unfortunately, in our schools, we don't put pressure on the creative side of the child. We don't give any value to the creative side of the child. That's why I thought I will collect few stories. These are not the stories which are written by him, but by me. But then yes, these stories actually encourage the child to think creatively, and that's how the creative mind of the child gets developed. So this is the ebook which I'm going to give it free. And of course, this is the new book, my upcoming book, Marathon the Crucial Final Lap. Let's make it most gorgeous. This is the book which is coming up for me. So I'm open up for queries. I'm just stopping my share, and here are my email ID and my mobile number. You can note down, and you can reach out to me anytime with your queries. And yes, you can ask questions while people are filling up the form for the certificate and paying the money. You can ask questions. I'm open for questions. Any questions, please? Any doubts, anything about, yeah, there are people who are asking me doubts as to how to clear our mind, anything about your subconscious mind, how to set your targets, and anything. Just be free, feel free to ask your questions, because until you ask your questions, how will the things get cleared? You have been carrying these emotions in your mind right from your childhood, and clearing them immediately at one go, it's very difficult. So you might be having so many questions. Ashwini is telling nice session. Ashwini, nice session. Yes, thank you very much. Great insights, Ankit. But then I want you to implement this in your life. If not this, that bonus session what I have given, apply those 4 basic techniques in your life and see how your life will change. Your life is going to change within few days, maybe 20 days. You can see a change in your life. Once your garbage gets cleared, it's like now a barren land which has been all the weeds has been taken, and it's ready for plowing. You can see it, plant any seeds into it. That's how life works. So just reach out to me in case of any doubt. Implement all these 4 techniques, because you don't have to spend any time. Just put your earphones and just listen to it in the morning, that pico pico, and rest of the 2 exercises you can do any time of the day, and even going before going to sleep. So this is going to work profoundly. NLP works, and yes, I have, whatever I have spoken with authority, because I have implemented that in my own life. And like I told you, after 48 years, I did my business, started my business at the age of 51, and today I'm doing my 5th job. I'm in a bigger mission of transforming my city. I'm presently at Bilaspur. I have a bigger mission of transforming Bilaspur from tier 3 to tier 2 city, and I'm already started the process. This I dreamt 4 years back, and now I'm all in the process of transforming it. I'm doing my bit to do my dream come true. Okay. Okay, so can you make clear about Pico Pico technique? Pico Pico technique is basically, this is Ritika is asking. So basically, I'm channelizing the energy flow from the center of the earth. We say that there are 7 chakras in our body. So by this Pico Pico exercise, I'm channelizing the flow of energy from top to the bottom. And by doing that, we are actually energizing the energy, cosmic energy, which is going into your body and energizing those chakras. It's as simple as that. Sure, we'll implement it. Pico Pico should be. Any other doubts? And okay, thank you very much. And I don't know how many of you, if you have filled up the form, if you have registered for the morning session, then you just let me know, ping me separately. And even if you are not registered, please, for your benefit, just follow those 4 exercises, the bonus session which I have given. Thank you very much for hearing it through, and there are 33 people still there. I'm so my gratitude to each one of you for being there for 1.5. I'm sorry, it's almost 1.5 hours. I didn't come to know about the time, and you have been there patiently listening to me and hearing to me. And thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Be
Sir,
safe. Yes.
one question I had. Sir, this pico pico and this breathing, are these two separate exercises or they are the same?
No. This breathing and pico pico are the same exercise. Breathing exercise, basically, I'm just taking you to a trance. I'm just trying to bypass your subconscious mind and taking you to a subconscious mind. That's why I start relaxing your whole body, and then
Okay.
pico pico starts. Yes, because the problem is when we do try to do something to a subconscious mind, the conscious mind will block that, because a conscious mind thinks logically. So somehow I have to bypass your conscious mind and directly talk to your subconscious mind. So it goes and permanently stays there. Anything which goes to your subconscious mind directly, it stays there permanently and it starts working on its own.
Okay. So pico pico is the first exercise, second one is the breathing, third is the appreciation, and fourth one is the continuous thing what you said.
No. Pico Pico is the first exercise. The second one is appreciate and smile. And third one is the authority exercise.
Okay.
You have registered this thing?
No, sir.
You're not registered. You can actually ping me your email ID. I will send you this thing also, script, if you want.
Sure,
That will
sir.
be more easy for you. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, friends, for being there. And it's an overwhelming response. And I hope I had added some value to your life. Okay, so yeah, we are here on this earth to give something back to the society, leave a legacy behind, and also make our dreams come true, and lead a healthy life till the last day we are in this earth. Right? So start practicing this. Take care of yourself. Be safe. Be healthy. And till we meet next time, Jai Hind.